Good morning, good afternoon or good evening. This is Virus-Free Sewing. Now that you're stuck in the house, you'll have done all the cleaning and it's time to do some sorting and some sewing. So I've got today some little boxes that we've made before, but just a reminder of how to make them. We made them before with Christmas fabric and put serviettes in there. But obviously you can put anything you like in here. You can have your clips, your scissors, your cutter, any sewing bits. You could do colouring crayons for kids, whatever you fancy. So there's one. This one has got quite a thick wadding in it. The next one is a much thinner wadding, so you can see it's much softer. And the one I'm actually going to do just now is this one, and I've got 2 layers of something that you put inside a quilt and 2 layers of cotton. You can basically put anything in as a stiffener. I know just now we can't get out to the shops to buy things, so you just have to use what you have in the house. You could even use an old blanket if you wanted, however you wouldn't be able to wash it. So the first thing we're going to do is clear a bit of space. I'm going to sew these layers together, make sure it's sitting nice and square, and I'm going to start just off centre, about here probably, go along down the other sides and stop. So I leave an opening, because that's where I'm going to turn everything out. Remember too, when you start here, you're going to go forward and back, because when you pull through there's a wee bit of tension on where you've stitched. So we'll do the stitching next. Right, so all the way around. Now going to take it to the ironing board, but I'm going to cut off my excess on the corners going across the way. I want to try and cut off as much of that stiffener or filler, whatever you put in, as I can, because I really don't want too much bulk. Once I've done all of that, then the hole that I've left, I'm going to pull it all through that and give it a really good press. So just quickly show you, I have trimmed off the corners as close as I dare, and I've trimmed off the excess of the stiffener. Now I'll turn it out. Right, so we are all turned out and pressed, and there's a couple of clips in where my opening is. Next thing I'm going to do is take my ruler. I'm going to measure, in this case, as I have with the other two, 2 inches in, but clearly you could do as deep a side as you want. If you want more than 2 inches, that's fine. If you want 1.5 inches or 1 inch, then it'd just be a bit shallower. But I'm going to mark 2 inches. So I'm lining up the 2-inch line here on my ruler with the edge of my fabric, and I'm also lining up, making sure that it's parallel top and bottom. And I'm going to start marking 2 inches from the top, so I'll move that up. So 2 inches from the top I'm going to start. Unfortunately it's going to be in a blue, but that's life. So it's going to come down there, and I'm going to stop 2 inches from the end. I'm just going to come down to 2 inches, which is there. Unfortunately you can't see that one. So the next side I'm going to do, I'll take these clips out for the minute. Again, line up my 2 inches on the ruler, and I'm going to draw my line starting 2 inches from here, come down and stop 2 inches from there. So that should line up there, and then round to the next one, 2 inches in, so that's the line on the ruler here, and make sure it's straight there. And again, typical, isn't it? It's on the blue. So using a black marker pen is not very good. This is the pen that disappears when you put heat on it, so don't think I'm using anything other than a pen like that. So again, line this up. I'm going to start 2 inches from the top, so the 18 there, and come down and stop 2 inches there. So now put the clips back in there. I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to sew all the way around my square in the middle. The square in the middle is to give your basket or box its shape on the bottom. Okay, so it just makes it stand a bit better. So I'm going to do all the way around, and then I'm going to do about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch all the way around the outside, and that will close up the opening that you had. Okay, so the next thing I did was I marked my corners so that I put the edges together like that, and I'm going to sew straight down there, so it's down to the corner of your square that you did in the middle. Once you've done that in all 4 corners, then just turn that out and your little box is done. So that's it that way out with the design. Get rid of all your threads, obviously when they're red they show up. That's your pattern on the outside, that's the pattern on the inside, and then that's the other box with a slightly sturdier, thicker wadding in it. So 3 little boxes